Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Laura here, or Laura X Stitches, and it is end of May update time. Hope you've had an awesome month. I've had a pretty okay. It's been pretty okay. It's Sunday the 28th of May here in Australia, and it's a beautiful day. Today, my boyfriend and I are going to go on a little bit of a road trip, so I'm trying to film this in about 50 minutes, and I think that I'll be definitely okay with that. His work roster got changed, and because of my work as a teacher, if he's working on weekends, we don't really see each other, and his roster's been changed to mostly weekends. So we're trying to make the most out of this last weekend before we see each other, pretty much in passing. So I don't like work. Anyway, speaking of work, school's been good. Excuse me, we went on school camp halfway through May, just for a night, thank goodness. I did get sick the day of, or just the night before really, which wasn't really good, trying to deal with 10-year-olds and having cold and flu tablets at the same time, so that wasn't too fun. But hey, otherwise it's been alright. Getting a bit more into it in terms of, you know, understanding everything that's going on, because I am a graduate, so it's my first year out, and parents are trusting me more, so I'm getting a lot more kind of loaded onto me, which is fine, but it just seems to never stop. But hey, that's what happens. In terms of family, boyfriend and I are good. We are kind of going into that next phase of life, looking at houses and such, so this will probably actually be one of the last few videos that I do in this house, and I will be in my own craft room, shared craft room maybe, I don't know, hopefully that'd be cool, and then I could film in my own space rather than in this storagey room type of thing, so we'll see how we go. Sad news, my grandpa my pa I should say, he was actually diagnosed with very aggressive liver cancer a few weeks ago. So he's back home from the hospital, but he's in palliative care, so we're kind of just going through the motions at this point. He's just very tired as a side effect from his medication. He's very tired, and yeah, it's not very good. So if you pray, I'll take him. I'll take your prayers. But if you just haven't seen any thoughts, send me some good vibes. That would be awesome. Hopefully going to see him maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day. At the moment, he's having no visitors, not only because my great and grandpa want to spend some time together, but because of the chemo, his white blood cell count is quite low, so we don't want to give him any colds or anything at the moment, because he just wouldn't be able to cope with it. So yeah, that's not too good, but hey, unfortunately that is reality, as much as it does suck. Let's move on to stitching. Wardrobe change, it got a bit warm, so I'm just gonna go in my top. My cardigan's just here. WIP update. I'll start with my first WIP that I worked on since my last video, which was Ophelia's Pearl by Nora Corbett, and she's going to look like this when she's finished. I don't have her with me right now because she's on my frame, and full disclosure, this is about the 6th time I've tried to record this video, but my OCD was like, all of your other takes suck, so we're going to do it again, and I'm like, alright, this is going to be the last time. So it's not with me because I don't want to take off my stand again, but I'll insert a picture of what you would have seen last time, and I'll show you what she looks like now. And since you last saw her, I have finished all of her hair, and it's glorious. There's lots of spaces for beads to come in. I'm going to bead last. I've kind of worked down, so I worked up to the top in the center, and then I worked down. So I've done her hair, and now I'm onto her tail and the little finny bits that come off her tail. So it looks beautiful, and I love working on her. So hopefully I'll get some more time next month, because this month, no time for WIPs. It was all about new starts, because I did participate in Stitch Mania. Awesome fun. And next year I think I'm going to go a little bit crazier, because I was quite reserved this month in terms of everybody else. And I want to. It's not like I'm doing it because I think I have to. Like, I really like the new starts, and I like having lots of things to choose from. But I probably wouldn't do 31. I'd probably do the 15, I think. So the first thing that I worked on was my fantasy sale by Lakeside Needlecrafts, and the reason why I worked on a WIP per se for this one is because the 1st of May came around and the new block came out. So I thought, hey, I'm going to use that as a new start. All my crap's here, by the way. You can see some of it, that's alright. And this is quite a new start for me anyway, so I thought it counted, why not? So I'll show you the whole thing as we are right now, so it goes that way. There it is. It's not as hot pink as that in real life, it's a bit more corally. This is stitched on 32 count Joe Blend by Colour Cascade in Forbidden Fruit. This was the April fabric of the month, my first one. And I'll bring you into the Dwagon. So that's what she looks like. Her name is Alfthena, as in Alfthena. Now the reason why her name's Alfthena is I asked my boyfriend to name her after I'd finished stitching her, and he said Alf. And I said, she's a lady, that's a bit mean. And so he said Alfthena. So this is Alfthena. I'm going to get him to name all the rest of them because I think that's funny. And this needle minder, which is there, a little heart, that is actually a printed one from my boyfriend. He has a 3D printer, so he just printed a plain heart for me because I was complaining I didn't have enough needle minders and he wanted to give me something, so he gave me that and I thought it was awesome. So that's that one, and I worked on her from the 1st until the 6th, and the 6th was a Saturday. My original plan for Mania was on the weekends to do WIPs. I was going to work on Ophelia's Pearl or my epic Pokemon. That didn't happen. Sorry, just making some room. That didn't happen because I wanted more starts. So I decided to pick up one of my Geeky Stitching Co kits. They're quite small, as my next start. And I chose one called Hug It Out, and it looks like that. And this one didn't get a crazy amount of work just because it was like the evening that I finished the dragon, so it just got a little bit of blood. And this is stitched on the 14 count 8er it came with, and it looks like this. Just a couple of cacti hanging out. I'm apparently finished really suddenly because usually I finish a thread before I pack it up. So this needle minder is a little flower, and it's from JK's Cross Stitch Designs, JK's Cross Stitch Supplies, sorry, and that is a Facebook group run by a lady called Janet, and she's based in Australia. And any Australians that need DMC, and I kind of like to use her for if I need probably like more than 5, I would order from her because hers are I think 75 or 80 cents compared to $1.30 at Spotlight, so or Linkcraft. So I like to go through her, and with each order you get a free needle minder. So that's really cool. I really like her. She's awesome, and she's very, very dedicated. You can literally message her pretty much at any time and she'll reply like that. So she's awesome. Sunday rolled around, Sunday the 7th, and I chose another, yes I can show you there, I chose another kit, and it's called You Make Me Feel Gooey. And this was from a Marshmallows box. Clearly, this one got a little bit more stitching done as it was during the day, and it wasn't in an evening. And it looks like, oh, let me hold it up, 14 count 8er again. It looks like that, and that looks awesome. So I just have to put in gooey and the confetti, and that is a needle minder. Oh, there's my back. A needle minder from Shop Made Designs on Etsy and Instagram. So both of those I could probably finish in a day's worth of stitching, like on a weekend. So I didn't feel too bad starting those. I didn't feel like I've overwhelmed myself at all. So yeah, that's that one. Then on the 8th, I started another kind of bigger project, and this is called Evolutions by 8-Bit Stitch. Now I got this off their Etsy store, but I think it's on a different site now, but I'm pretty sure if you just search for it on Google, you'll be able to find it. Looks like this, all the different Eevees, there's Eevee there, and all of it, hers, I'm not too sure about the gender, but yeah, all of the evolutions of Evie are around the back side. I can't remember the name of the company or the name of this colour dye for this fabric, but I got it from Adele from Adele Cut Stitches. Hi Adele, love you. And this is also something that we're stitching together. So if you need to know about this fabric, go watch one of my last couple of videos and I've said it there. But that's what I'm at right now. So this was stitched from the 8th to the 12th, and I almost did one a day. So I have Evie in the middle. So Evie's there. Then I had Vaporeon, Jolteon, Flareon, and that's almost all of Glaceon done. I had to finish this, oh, hang on, my needle minder is another Shop Made Designs needle minder. I had to finish this one a little bit early. I think it was either a day early or I just didn't feel like stitching because that's when we got the diagnosis about PAR. I just wasn't really in the mood. On the 13th, which I'm pretty sure it was either a Saturday or a Sunday, we actually went down to the hospital to visit PAR, and I took a new project with me for Mother's Day to stitch in the car and everything, but I just wasn't into it. I didn't actually like the pattern. I just picked it because I was running out of time with everything to do with school and PAR and stuff. So I ended up giving my mum a piece that I'd already done and you've already seen before. It's called You're So Sweet and it's from Geeky Stitch & Co. And I framed it up and it looks like this. So I'm going to put it here. She really liked it. I'm pretty sure it's on her desk at work. If it's not, I'm going to be annoyed. I'm going to ask her why. But yeah, that's what I made for mum instead. So on the 13th I didn't stitch. The 14th I'm guessing the 14th was a Sunday then. I started my June piece for the Adorable Animals calendar that I'm doing. A Year of Adorable Animals 2017 calendar. This was a free gift from Cross Stitch Crazy December last year from that magazine, and I was stitching November. Sounds confusing because I said June, as you might recall, or if you're new, hi. And this is a Northern Hemisphere seasons calendar, and I'm obviously Southern Hemisphere, so I chose this for June as it's quite wintry and right now it's quite cold here. Adele would say otherwise, and she's from Scotland, and we've had that debate over the past couple of days, but it is cold. And this is just on 14 count Ada. I'm pretty sure it's antique white, as much as it just looks white. And I've got the bit of fire and a monkey, and I should really take that off the hoops. I might do that now. The needle minder on there was actually a free gift from Shop Made Designs when I made my order. I bought those few needle minders that I have from them during a sale, so it was really cool to get a free gift even though it was during a sale. So that's the June piece for my calendar. Next was the 16th. So on the 15th we went on school camp, so I didn't stitch, and then I came back on the 16th tired and a little bit sick, but I still wanted to make a start, and I started, on that side, nope. I started a piece from Peacock and Fig called Poppies in the Wind. Looks like that. This is a piece that I will be donating to an organisation my father volunteers at for returned veterans, for their club rooms whenever I get around to finishing it. I'd like to finish it for Remembrance Day on the 11th of the 11th, so hopefully I can get it done by then. This is being stitched on a 32 count even weave antique white from Sew It All, and I think it goes this way. I'm not too sure, but clearly not a whole lot done. That is one of the middle kind of petals of the poppy. There you go. Quick stitch. It's only got about 7 colours in it, 7 or 9 colours in it. It won't take too long once I work on it for more than 2 days, because I only got a couple of days in for that one. I'm pretty sure, because I stitched it from the 16th to the 18th, and I'm pretty sure on the 18th I got the news that it was aggressive cancer, so I kind of, is that the screensaver? Hopefully that didn't stop. Thank goodness, using boyfriend's computer. I'm pretty sure I just didn't feel like stitching. anymore on this one. I wanted a new start then and there. So I, on the 19th, chose my next start, which is a soda stitch design. And this is one that I was extremely enabled to do by Adele, because she's doing it too, but that's fine because it's so cute. And it's the Princess Collection from Soda Stitch. Gorgeous, gorgeous. It's really long, but as in length, and it will take a long time, but it's gorgeous. They're so cute. I'm stitching this on a piece from Sew It All. That's a printed fabric, so it's printed on one side, white on the other. I thought it was called camouflage green, but it's actually called cloud green on the actual fabric, so I don't know what you would find it as, but it's just like a pastel-y, a little bit mottled green. 32 count even weave, so it's going to be quite long. It looks a little bit brighter in person than that, but I think it's a really nice pale. I don't want anything too crazy because there's so many colours in this, but that's what she looks like right now. I'm working on Snow White. I worked from the left. This is page 1. So I finished the border of page 1, Snow White's name, her hair, her bow, and the majority of her skin because her face is massive. I'm going to work page 1, and then I'm going to do the page underneath here, which I think is like page 7 or something. But all of their feet are all partial pages, so I'm just going to do all of Snow White because I think it will annoy me if I have to go back and just do a whole bunch of feet. So I'm going to do that. I didn't want to do the whole border the whole way around first because that would just really annoy me. This needle minder, which is Dumbo, is from JK's Cross Stitch Designs. I bought that one. That wasn't a free one. I actually made an error in one of my orders and ordered like 4 duplicate skeins that I didn't need. So it ended up being about the price of that. So I just bought that, and I don't regret that because it's a nice size and it's very cute. So I want to get some more from her actually. That's my princesses, and then I worked on that until the 23rd. Then my last start for MAYNIAAAA is a Clouds Factory piece, and it's called Walking in London, and it looks like that. And I've been working on this for the past few days. Not a whole lot of stitching just due to being extremely busy. Trying to spend some time with my boyfriend before we never see each other again. This, I'm kidding. This is stitched on a 32 count even weave from Sew It All. Again, it's a pale blue. It's actually not an even weave. It's definitely a linen just because of the different slubs and stuff in there. It's not even weave at all, but I don't actually mind it. I think it looks really good, and I may have ordered the wrong one. I don't know, but I thought I ordered an even weave, but it doesn't really matter. It does the same job. So that's what I'm up to. I like this because it's just little blocks of colours and you just go down. So this is right in the centre pretty much, and then above this it says London. So I'm thinking that I might actually do Big Ben next, which is on this side because it's the highest point, and then I'll go across and do London at the top, and then I can work my way whichever way I want to go. Yeah, I like that a lot. This is the first print of that needle minder that my boyfriend had printed me from his 3D printing machine. What he does is he prints them with, on the needle minder there's, I'll just show you. I'm just going to show you. This is the incorrect one. So this one has the magnet kind of above it, whereas the other one, he's made a hole in the actual print that fits the magnet perfectly. So the magnet sits in there a lot more flush. It's flush to the actual top of the needle minder. But it works fine, so I decided to use that because I actually run out of needle minders with all of these WIPs that I have now. So I just use that one. He's also printed me a really cool Game of Thrones one, but I'm going to save that for a particular piece that I'm doing soon. Those are my WIPs. Those are all my starts. Coming up, so I'm going to finish on that one today when we get back from our road trip. And then the next 3 days until the 1st of June, I'll work on my June piece to try and get that finished. Hopefully, maybe, probably not, because I have to write reports, but that's okay. Yeah, and that's all of May, which is unbelievable. I'm going to go through some haul now. I don't have a whole lot, so don't stress if you don't like haul. The first thing is this gigantic piece of cloud green even weave that I showed you from the Princesses collection. I bought a 90 centimetre by 1 metre piece, and it was about $45-ish, I think. And Adele helped me out with this a lot. I think I explained this last time, but I'm pretty sure I can fit at least 4 more projects on that piece, and they're all my soda stitch ones, so that covers me for quite a few kitting up things to come. Sorry, I'm on my non-wash day for my hair, and it's just frustrating me. Anyway, I bought the 90 by 1 metre piece of fabric. It's going to fit 4 more soda stitch designs. Saves me time and money, and it saves me time because the postage system in Australia is really bad, and it takes ages for me to get things even from Australia. So yay, thanks Adele. My next bit of haul is my fabric of the month from Color Cascade Fabrics. That was really rare, and it is called Oasis. This was the May one, or was it April? Okay, so Forbidden Fruit, which is on my fantasy sale, was March. This is April, and I got this a couple of days after I finished my last video, which was a little bit annoying because I could have shown it, but it's gorgeous. I get the 32 count Joblin in the middle size that you can get, and this is 100% gonna have a Mirabilia on it, faux show. I've got to figure out which one, and I've got to finish some pieces and do some stuff in my stash before I can get it. But when Adele saw it, she was like, you need to put a mirror on that. And I was like, I know, it's so pretty. I'm not going to apologise for Russell because that's life, and we need to stop apologising for things that aren't even that bad. That's just my opinion anyway. Stitch from Stash, going well. I spent a lot of money last month, or this month, I think it might have been last month, on fabric in April. That's right, in April I spent a lot, so I had $23 left, which is still good. Like, I still wasn't, a zero or a minus, so that was good. And so this month I've started with about $50 and I haven't spent anything, so I'm doing good. Random stash. My granny was getting rid of some clothes, and some of them were hand knitted cardigans, and I said, no, let's have a look at those. So I'm going to show you some of them now. I got 3 and they've all just fallen down. Oh man, what a mess. This is the first one, and it's orange, so of course I'm obsessed. It's not that orange, it's a lot more muted in person, but it's gorgeous. Love it, love it. It's heavy and warm, and oh, it's gorgeous. It smells good. Love that. Next one is this one that I wore to school the other day. It's just comfy. It's a good home one as well. Nice big one. Where's the arm? There it is. And this button was made by my pa as well. So it's cool to have like both of them on a piece. This one's my fave. It's so pretty. Look at the pretty. That's the wrong way. Look at the pretty. It's gorgeous. Like, can you just... And the bit that I love the most about it is that it's alpaca, so it's extremely, extremely soft. And I wore this to school too and just made everyone touch it. I was like, touch this. It's alpaca. So I love that. And she texted me yesterday because it was her birthday yesterday. And I texted her saying, happy birthday, Granny, because I couldn't go over and see her. And she said, thanks, I've got 2 more cardigans if you're interested. So when I see her next and I go see Pa, I will definitely be looking at those. So I was pretty happy with that. Let's talk about plans. Not much haul. Look at me go. Plans. This is the plan from the next few months, I'm pretty sure. Who knows, it could change. But I like this plan at this point. So... Oh, excuse me, my back hurts. My first week in June in the coming months, I will work on the fantasy sale, doing that block. I'm hoping that I can get through that block during the first 5 days, and then have 2 days to do my Adorable Animals calendar piece. We'll see if that works, but I'm thinking I'll be alright. So I'll work on that, and as you all know, the fantasy sale is actually finishing up in 2 months. So after that 2 months, I will just keep going as if it was still going. So I'll do the August, September, I'll do it that way. My third week, I am skipping a week, but I'll come back. My third week is going to be Pokemon, because I really want to give a fair amount of time, to Pokemon each month. I'm doing the Epic Pokemon Extended Edition Generation 1, if anyone's wondering, and it's got 25 pages, and I'm on page 6. In the last holidays, which was in April, I smashed out 2 pages, so I got quite burnt out about it. So I will probably not do that again. Unless I really want to get a page finish, I will keep going, but I'll give it a week, a month, or I might give it some extra time if I want to. I'm still going with the only one full coverage piece at a time, because I do have a Hay that I've started, but I just can't even think about that right now when I've got Pokemon to do. So I'm going to do that. In the second and fourth weeks, because I find it so hard to choose what to work on, I'm just going to random number generate it. And I'm going to go through, here's my notebook. I'm going to go through, here we go, my active WIPs that can be a part of that. So I've got Ophelia's Pearl, Fantasy Sale, Hug It Out, You Make Me Feel Gooey, Evolutions, Poppies, Princess Collection, and Walking in London. Now I've kept, so that's 8 that it can choose from. I have kept the Fantasy Sale in there because if I was to draw Fantasy Sale, like if it was to choose it, I would work on the border and inside bits of the piece. And if it so happens that I finish the border before I finish all the characters, if I was to draw out the Fantasy Cell for one of those weeks, I would just continue to work on the leftover characters that I have to do. I don't think that's going to be the case, but it could happen. I don't know what the random number generator is going to decide. So yeah, so it's got 8 to choose from, and for instance, if it was to choose You Make Me Feel Gooey and I finish it really quickly, I would just draw another one to do for the remainder of those days, sorry. I'm not going to hold myself to this in terms of if I really want to stop. So let's say it drew Walking in London and I finished off the building that I'm on. I said, I don't want to do any more of this. I'll swap it out. I'm not going to make myself stitch if I'm hating my life. On the opposite end, if I was to draw Walking in London close to a finish and I was almost finished it, and then those 7 days were up and I had like half a page left or something that I was really excited to do, I'm not going to stop myself from doing that because it's a finish. Like, that's exciting. So I'm going to let myself do that. I'm not so rigid, I don't think. And we'll see how that goes. And I'm looking forward to the random thing because it's always exciting. And I like doing that kind of stuff. That's the end of my stitching stuff, 28 minutes. Yes, it's going well. I don't think I'm out of time yet. No, I've still got 20 minutes to go before we need to leave. Yeah, so stitching stuff is all good. June's going to be good. I'm excited for the new Fantasy Sale block to come out. I'm hoping it's a Centaur, but who knows? It probably won't be. It'll probably be something that we've just completely forgotten about. But yeah, loving that. I'm going to quickly go through some books and then that'll be the end. So I have been reading a little bit this month before bed. I've been reading the companion novels to Harry Potter because if you don't know, I'm in love with Harry Potter. The series, not the character. That's weird. No, I love Ron Weasley. He's my fave. So I read Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them because I really wanted to see the movie. All I could find for ages was the original screenplay of the movie, and that was not what I wanted to read. I wanted to read the actual book first. I might read the screenplay one day, but this is more what I wanted. I love this book so much because it's like a textbook. I actually read out loud to my boyfriend sometimes because he likes an audiobook and I like reading out loud because I'm a teacher. So I was reading out loud to him and he kind of was like, I don't like you reading this out loud because it sounds like you're reading an encyclopedia to me. And I agreed with that. I just liked reading it myself. I loved this book. It's so just insane the amount of detail that J.K. Rowling has done through her world, and it's awesome. Loved it. The next one I read was The Tales of Beedle the Bard. If you know Harry Potter, you know what this is, but I'm pretty sure it was the Deathly Hallows. Spoiler alert, big spoiler, huge spoiler. Don't come for me if you don't know Harry Potter and you don't click away. So spoiler. In Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, the trio sit down to receive things from Dumbledore's will, as Dumbledore died in the previous book. And this is what Hermione gets from Dumbledore, the Tales of Beedle the Bard. She has to translate it from different runes, but yeah, this is what she gets. And this version, it says in there, in the front or something, translated from the original runes by Hermione Granger. So that's what they've gone with for that. The Deathly Hallows is quite heavily based upon and talks about a lot the tale of the three brothers, which is one of the tales from this book. I loved this so much. I'm going to take it to school and read some of these. Probably not the tale of the three brothers, but I'll read the rest because they're like nursery, like fairy tales for magical kids. So you know how in fairy tales for us it's all about magic and stuff. Well, this has already got magic in it, and he had to, like, these are stories about magical kids and magical people having fairy tales. So it was really cool. It's also got notes from Dumbledore in it. So different, it's like almost like a little mini essay he's written about each tale, which is really cool as well to get that insight. And another crazy awesome work from JK, because like, come on, that's a book in a book, and it's just insane. And then the last companion one is Quidditch Through the Ages. It's like a history book about Quidditch, which is the sport in Harry Potter world. Yeah, it's awesome too. And I loved reading this because it's just like, not only has she done things like this, but she's made up a sport, she's made up the history to the sport and all of these people, and it just goes through, and it's like all of the different countries and continents, you know, about what they like about Quidditch and, you know, what they've contributed to Quidditch and their teams and everything, and it's just insane. I love these books because it's like, not only has she written this magical her story, but she's done all this stuff too. It's awesome. So I've read those three. We need to watch Fantastic Beasts soon. I think we've got it. We just need to watch it. The next book I'm currently reading, which I haven't read in a few days, is Truthwitch by Susan Dennard. Looks like this. I don't know if I like this yet. I've only read 4 chapters. I don't know. I'm hoping that I get a bit more into it over the next couple of chapters, because right now it doesn't like call me to read, whereas these were like, read us now. This is a series. The next book is Wind Witch. But yeah, it's not, I'm not saying it's bad, I'm just not into it yet because it's so new to me. So yeah, there's that one. And that's everything. This was the best take I have done for these videos. This one's going to stay. I'm not going to do that again. So that's it for everything to do with stitching and books. I don't know if I'll ever have a book segment again. I just happened to read a little bit during May, so don't expect that all the time. I'm really excited for June for this random stuff. June could also be a very sad month for me, and it probably will be. So if I'm not as active, I suppose, either on here in terms of replying to comments or watching videos or commenting on videos, or even on Stitch Mania or Instagram, that's just why. It's just a hard month at the moment. So I hope nobody gets offended or anything, or yeah. I've had people checking up on me, which is very sweet, so thank you to those people. I hope you have a lovely June. I hope you had a great Stitch Mania if you were just watching or if you were participating. Either way, hope you had a great month. Next year I will be vlogging for sure. I loved seeing the vlogs, and I don't know why I didn't do it. It's such a good idea, so I'll be doing that next month. I hope you enjoyed the video, and comment. You can subscribe if you really want to. You can share it with someone. I don't really mind. Do what you like. We are going to go to our little road trip now to go to one of our favourite places to eat for lunch and just go for a little walk in this crisp winter's day. Is it even winter or is it still autumn? It feels like winter. I don't even know yet. I'm just a mess. But anyway, I hope you have a great June, and I will see you at the end of June for my next update. I hope. Bye everyone.